Hey, what's up, Zoners? Week 17 Thursday Night Football is tonight. The Aaron Rodgers-less New York Jets are going to go all the way to Cleveland, dog pound, to get their ass kicked. And I'm going to be covering those Browns all the way from Joe Flacco, revenge game, to Dustin Hopkins, the kicker. What the hell happened to that guy, dude? And hey, this is the first game of the Fantasy Football Championships. So this is important. If that sounds interesting to you, hold on for 7 seconds. Hey, what's up, Zoners? This is Tyler, Big Turd Ward, and Banjo, the dog, coming at you live from my garage. And this is the Fantasy Red Zone. We have all our notes typed out. We'll be sharing that with you right now. All right, let's set the scene. The over and under for this game is at 34.5, dude. That sucks. That is the lowest on the week. I hate that for fantasy purposes. The Browns are favored by 7.5 points. And hey, I think that's good for Browns running backs, and I would say that's bad for Breece Hall. But look how many targets that fool got last week. Probably good for Breece Hall as well. 42 degrees with a 25% chance of precip. So maybe a sloppy game there in Cleveland. Let's take a look at the coverages that the Jets defense likes to run. Man coverage, 28.6% of the time. That is at the 8th highest rate in the NFL. And conversely to that, zone coverage, 69.7%, which is 25th highest rate in the NFL. So they are a heavy man team. And newsflash, dude, they're good at it. Cleveland scoring the 5th most points over the last 3 games with Joe fucking Flacco, dude. That is insane right now. And hey, Jets allowing the 13th fewest points over the last 3 games at 21.3. So Jets not really shutting people out like they were earlier in the season. First up, Joe Flacco, quarterback 32. I'm pressing pause on this fool. I don't want to, but I got to because this is the Fantasy Football Championship. I have him as a quarterback 2. And hey, man, I'm only going to be playing quarterback 1s this week. He threw the ball 42 times, dude. They let Joe Flacco throw the ball 42 times last week versus Houston. Houston was killing the run. But man, he threw for 368 yards with 3 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Dude, Sam Howell got ran off the field last week versus the Jets. But Brissett came in, threw 100 yards and a touchdown on 13 passes. So, and he almost won the game, dude. Brisket looks good. You know who Brisket reminds me of? Joe Flacco, dude. So Joe Flacco has a chance to do well this game, but I am just not risking that biscuit. So here we go, dude. 21 plus fantasy points in each of the last 3 games while throwing for over 300 yards in each, dude. So that is quarterback 1. That's like, dude, top 10 quarterback, top 8 quarterback in NFL fantasy right now. That is amazing. Cleveland currently has the league's 7th best offensive line, and they dominate in run blocking relative to their pass blocking. And hey, dude, the Jets are a run funnel defense. They have those amazing cornerbacks all the way down to their slot corner, right? But so you have to kind of run the ball against them, and they are not that great at stopping it. So my big fear here is that Joe Flacco flips the script, throws it 20 times, runs the ball goddamn 40 times, and then Joe Flacco only gets, 15 points, maybe 200 yards and a touchdown, something like that. So that is the risk there, and I do not want to risk it. The New York Jets giving up the fewest passing yards over the last 3 games. That's not great, dude. 137 yards per game. Holy shit. New York allowing the 2nd fewest passing touchdowns over the last 3 games as well, 0.7. So some games they are not even allowing 130 yards and a passing touchdown. That is insane. Joe Flacco, I am pressing pause. Next up, Jerome Ford. Built Ford tough, man. Running back 22 on the season. I'm pressing play on this dude. Like I said, run funnel defense here. So you got to run the ball to beat the Jets. 15 rushes for 25 yards and a touchdown last week versus Houston. Him and Kareem Hunt couldn't get shit done, dude. Houston with the D'Amico Ryans, man, stopping the run, changing that defense over a course of a year. And then, dude, Chris Rodriguez, for the Redskins, caught the Commanders last week. Sorry about that, guys. Had 10 rushes for 58 yards and 2 touchdowns versus the Jets. Like I said, dude, this is a run funnel defense. And Joe Flacco is not going to be running in any touchdowns. So it's going to go to either Ford or Hunt. Ford gets the touches. Give me some Ford. 9 or fewer rushes in 3 of the last 5 games. That is where the risk is. But like I said, a lot of opportunity here. They've been throwing the hell out of the ball. You cannot throw the hell out of the ball versus the Jets. 5+ targets, though, in 2 of the last 3. You know what's going to come a lot is dump-offs. It's not going to be all Kareem Hunt. It's going to be Ford, dude. And here we go, dude. The New York Jets giving up the 8th fewest rushing yards over the last 3 games at 87 yards per game. That is terrible. So they can stop the run, but you have to run the ball against them. And here's the thing, right? The New York Jets allowing the most rushing touchdowns over the last 3 games at 2 per game. So that's 6 rushing touchdowns in the last 3 games. I do expect Jerome Ford to at least get one of those and maybe catch the touchdown that Joe Flacco's going to throw. So, hey, Jerome Ford, high-end running back 2 for me this week. Next up, Kareem Hunt. He has been falling off as of late. Running back 38. I'm pressing pause on this fool. I do think that he might get a touchdown, but even with that touchdown, man, I do not think he's going to be cracking the top 20 running backs fantasy-wise this week. So 7 rushes for 11 yards, man. And he did get a touchdown last week versus Houston. Antonio Gibson, the secondary running back for Washington these days, had 9 rushes for 30 yards and a touchdown last week versus the Jets. So I could see something similar like that for Kareem Hunt. It's like running back 3 numbers. So maybe as a flex, but he is very touchdown dependent here. And you do not want touchdown dependent flexes, man. Single-digit fantasy points in each of the last 8 games. That sucks. 24 rushes for 46 yards over the last 3 games. That sucks. Leads Cleveland in carries inside the 5-yard line with 10 attempts for 7 touchdowns. So that is what I'm saying here, dude. When they get inside the 5, it is Kareem Hunt, and dude, he delivers 70% of the time. That is kind of fucking amazing. And Jerome Ford, dude, has 4 attempts for 3 touchdowns. So Ford gets those touchdowns as well, just 6 less attempts on the year. Pierre Strong had 5 rushes to Hunt's 7, and it was much more efficient with them, but I think that was when the game was kind of over. So, dude, Kareem Hunt, I'm not risking, but I could see him getting 1 touchdown, low yardage this game. Next up, Amari Cooper, wide receiver 11 on the season. Hey, man, I had him ranked, I think, top 10 wide receiver to start the year, but I didn't expect this. I thought he was going to do a lot better with Deshaun Watson. Who knew? He needed Joe Flacco to really shine, man. Wide receiver 11, I think I just said that. I'm pressing play on this fool. 11 receptions on 15 targets for 265 yards and 2 touchdowns last week versus Houston. So, yeah, dude, I bet you Amari Cooper is going to be on a lot of championship teams, or at least final teams, man, because if you had Amari Cooper, he's literally getting you to the championship. Holy shit, man. So Terry McLaurin had 3 receptions on 5 targets for 50 yards last week versus the New York Jets. That is the risk here, dude. Terry McLaurin just got hyper-targeted, dude, like the week before. And now he had to go against the Jets. Only 5 targets, only 50 yards. That is what we're looking at here with Amari Cooper. Dude, 37 targets over the last 3 games. So if you are any type of PPR, you are safe with Amari Cooper. I expect him to get double-digit targets. And there is a chance, dude, Jalen Waddle had 8 receptions for like 150 yards and a touchdown 2 weeks ago. So that could be Amari Cooper. So I do kind of think he is a low-end wide receiver 2 here. I do not think he's a flex. You should start him as your wide receiver 2. Hey, man, Cooper is the Browns' only wide receiver inside the top 50 versus zone in every metric, like points per route run, depth per target, all that good shit. And then Cooper's target rate rises from like 20.5% to 25.3%. That's 5% pretty much versus man. So the New York Jets run heavy man, and they're really good at it. But I do think he will get hyper-targeted regardless. Let's look at this right now. The Jets are a top 10 man coverage unit in limiting yards per coverage target, 6.8, and defensive success rate at 57%. That sucks. Dude, Sauce plays the left cornerback position 92% of the time. So he is not a shadow cornerback. There will be opportunities for Amari Cooper. Cooper plays the left wide receiver position on Cleveland the most at 39%. But he also plays the right wide receiver position at 37% of the time. And DJ Reed is the right cornerback there 95% of the time. And he allows the highest fantasy points per route run on the Jets at 0.25. That's still not good. But when you look at, 0.16 for Sauce and 0.12 for Carter, the slot corner, that is the way that you're going to score against the Jets. So Amari Cooper has a shot at being a wide receiver 1, but I am ranking him as a wide receiver 2, low end. Next up, Elijah Moore. He got all the targets when Joe Flacco didn't know anybody. But guess what, dude? He knows people now. So wide receiver 60 on the season. I'm pressing pause on this fool. 2 receptions on 4 targets, man. He's only getting 4 targets now. And it's like 10 less than Amari Cooper for 19 yards last week versus Houston. 5 or fewer fantasy points in 4 of the last 5 games. That's terrible. He plays the slot, most positions. So, and Carter gives up 0.12. That is the best cornerback in the league as far as points per route run. So Elijah Moore, terrible matchup. Here we go, dude. This guy's going to be winning some people championships as well. I'm a Travis Kelce owner. I should have just waited and got David Njoku. But hey, hindsight is always 2020. So David Njoku, tight end number 5 on the season. I'm pressing play on this fool. 6 receptions on 9 targets for 44 yards and a touchdown. Banjo hair. Last week versus Houston. So Logan Thomas, fing, fing, fing. Logan, go watch that movie. It's pretty sweet. Goddamn. Led Washington with 5 receptions on 6 targets for 36 yards and a touchdown last week versus the Jets. So, hey, they are weak giving up touchdowns versus tight ends. He is the number 1 fantasy tight end over the last 3 weeks. Dude, he's almost averaging 20 points per game coming out of your goddamn tight end, man. And Njoku, Amari Cooper, winning people championships this season, almost. At least get him to the finals, and I have to go against the goddamn Jets. He has 4 touchdowns in the last 3 games. That's insane. Dude, Travis Kelce hasn't scored a touchdown in the last, 6 games. And he ended the last season not scoring a touchdown in the last, 8 games, man. Travis Kelce, S&D right now. New York Jets giving up the 12th most points to tight ends this year at 10.0 points per game. So that is a favorable matchup for David Njoku with a hot quarterback. Dude, David Njoku is going to win some people some championships this season. I'm pressing play on him. Defense, the Browns, man. Defense number 5 on the season. I'm pressing play on these fools. The lowest over and under for the week. So that's great for defense, man. If they don't score any points, your defense is guaranteed 10 points. Ha! New York Jets scoring the 10th fewest points over the last 3 games at 20 points per game. That is positive as well. And hey, dude, the Browns, 13 plus fantasy points in 2 of the last 3 games. I like that trend. And hey, they're going to go against Trevor Siemian. So unless Breece Hall just goes insane this game, they should be good to start. Defense, top 5 defense for me. Press and play on these fools. Last up, dude, kicker number 2 on the year, Dustin Hopkins. You're like, I don't think he's done well in a long time. Well, goddamn it, you're right, dude. I'm pressing single-digit fantasy points in each of the last 6 games. It's been a long time since he's done well, and he's still kicker 2 on the year. I'm pressing play on him, though, and that is counterintuitive because I always say do not play kickers with a low over and under. That ain't good. But I believe in this Browns offense right now. And when I believe in an offense and I believe in a defense like I should versus the Jets, especially in the red zone when the field shrinks, I think there might be an opportunity for a field goal heavy game here. It might just be no touchdowns thrown, dude. Just fucking 4 field goals versus 3 field goals. So give me a piece of that. I think Dustin Hopkins is going to be a good play this week for you. Press and play on him. All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching. And sorry about that short Christmas break, but just like Dominic Toretto, I've got a family. So anyways, hopefully I earned a thumbs up. Hopefully I earned a subscription. If you are not already subscribed, man, we need your support so bad, man. The year's about to end. We need subscribers more than ever to take this show to a whole nother level. We can do it. We can make the show big with your help, and that starts with you right now, man. Hey, this is Tyler Big Turd Ward, and I appreciate you. Good luck in the finals, man.